nice to have like a different angle to like the conversations about Nigeria. Also, recently, some kid, you were at his house. He was crying that Vector came to my school. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That was first of all, that whole going to his house thing. Like, bro, there's not a lot of guys that do that.
Yeah.
So how were you
How did it
convinced to say,
happen?
let me go there and see this kid and make his day, whatever?
It's funny that I probably would have forgotten the aura that he shared with me if he wasn't crying. Because I have photos on my phone of him. I'm squatted, right? Because they're all kids. And he says, "Can I put my arms over your neck?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he does that. So when I was signing autographs, I have a picture of him right in front of me. And then I said, "Go and wait." So he went to wait. That's in 9 pin and pass. Plus, now let me say this for the first time, it was not my fault. It was the teachers that got carried away with their own photo session. So whilst I was done, I thought everybody had taken their pictures and I left. Only for me to see that, okay. And I appreciate the fans because I've always known that it's not easy for you to like somebody's music. Well, it might be easy, but it's not compulsory. It's not a must. So if you like my music, I really do appreciate you. Now, seeing that kid cry, I was like, okay, let me just go to his house. So I called my guy. Like, okay, call the school. Juilliard schools in Magodo. Okay, where does he live? Okay, he lives here. All right, cool. He's a fan of Marvel. Okay, cool. Let's go get merch. And let's just go and see him. We get there. He's a genius. Like, his sight reads. He plays music. He calls himself the prof. Right, and meeting him, it refreshed. Like it was refreshing to know that in Nigeria we can have like such a thing without being too much of a like it's just right there. There are kids that we can inspire. There are things that we can do on that level and be selfless about.
Well, that was a nice touch. And also the music recently, Eddie Momo. I don't think. I've heard a song that in recent times, I mean, it's kind of mellow. The tone, obviously with COVID, I think there's been like a different vibe in terms of the music. It's been laid back, chilled since last year till now. So I think was more like a bedroom fornication kind of stuff. So I'm like, ooh, okay, let's get this on the playlist then. Ooh. So please break this down, and then getting a good girl LA on the song as well must have been it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you want me to say something about Early Momo, right?
Oh, yeah, you have to. It's a fornication on a playlist.
Why are you so excited about this?
It's what people tell me. Say, see that Early Momo.
Sensors of the people,
man
of the people.
Top 3 mini, no fornication on stuff.
Okay. How about make Timini a poster boy?
You see why I don't like rappers, man? They always try and get cute with the words and whatever.
Nobody's like guy now, so you'll be fine. I know that I had trouble sleeping that night, so I just went to the studio and just did. It's funny how after I finished recording the hook, I was like, just left it. So when Nikoi recording and Tony Wakalo, he had said, "Oh, I think I want to work with good girl earlier," and she's coming to us. Okay, fine, because I had heard her at the launch of Some Phone in Lagos. So I've also heard Far Away From Me, Baby. And
Love the song.
When I heard it, I was like, okay, I think this is dope, but I couldn't really gauge whatever range it was because, of course, it's Nigeria again now. So when I met her, I was like, okay, I played a bunch of beats. We struggled with it. I was like, okay, let me even play you this thing that I was freestyling before, whether you like it or...
And just like that.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. What a record that was. And then you followed that with Crown of Clay.
Yes.
With MI. The MI feature was interesting, obviously giving like recent history and stuff like
waiting.
that. I was surprised. I was like, I knew you guys would patch things up, but I didn't expect to patch it up to the level where
you know they
you're
were patching
music.
Did you know that? Because it seemed very, very
can't lie.
bitter at some
when
point.
the thing was hot, I said, I only man they probably get into it, but
yeah,
that was refreshing to see.
Yes.
And the fact that you guys now took it further and made music, and there was video and everything shot for that.
Wait, so how did the patch up happen? I mean, I watched the whole thing from that brand. Yeah. Yes. I will sit down literally because sometimes I'll get here early, just sit down in the car and just watch having lunch and just laugh and be like, So who is telling the truth here? Who's lying? Who's capping? So what happened?
I don't know. Rap is as by nature competitive as it's always been.
Yes.
So I don't take it personal or anything. However, at a point for me, it felt like, okay, so I'm doing this with a brand.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to Ojai eye service. I don't even finish NYSC, talk less of dry sound. So I'm like, I don't know how to do all those things. So if you know that this is where the bag is at, like whatever you do, Don't try to come for it, because that means it's okay. If you do that to me, it means it's okay for me to do that to you.
Yeah.
Right? But I try not to be the person who's doing that first, because it doesn't make sense to me. So when you take shots, it's cool, it's rap. For years it's been. But when I now start to see people say stuff about, the VS class is not dope, like they're not doing it well, and blah blah blah, then there's a cipher. And I'm like, okay. Like, I get that other brands want to get at other brands, but so I know Sabi work I be. Because if it's work, I got you, bro. Right? But my guys are like, no, let's not do it. Then part 2. And Yoruba say, I should you along with it. So that's what that was. But then again, it quickly skyrocketed into something that I felt was coming for a long time. I feel like people try to assassinate the real character that I am, simply because I'm not very everywhere. I'm aware that I can't keep all the friends that I can make. I can make 1,000,001 friends, but I'm aware that I can't keep that. Like, I can't, and I'm a very, very, when I'm with you, I'm with you. I may not be there every day, but I will have conversations that are meaningful. I believe as Africans, we are our own therapy. We should be able to talk to ourselves. If you go market, you price something, you got to follow best way they sell fish, they negotiate. Why can't you talk with your friend? So if you now start to paint a character of me that is not, and simply because I know I can't be out there to prove it wrong, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because it's okay for you to diss me or whatever it is, but if I feel like, and you may not be intentionally doing it, it's fine. Yeah. If I feel like you're starting to assassinate the character of who I am truly to myself, then it's a problem. And at a point, I started to feel that way. Hence why,
Yeah. So how did you now settle?
And let's put money on the table.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I've always felt like we can't continue to live like people before us.
Okay.
You know how politicians, once somebody's there, the next guy that comes in is beefing the guy, so scrap what they're doing, it's my turn. When I'm done, you can scrap this and it's your turn. So you want to give us disposable projects? In my head, that's how I've always felt. So, and I've always known that we can. So I'm doing conscious cruise, I'm doing all these things because I feel strongly that we just deal with each other in Nigeria on surface tension a lot, based on, like, we judge each other from afar so much that we don't even see how much greatness we can do. And I've always known that he's a voice. I know, like, if we're going to bring to fore a lot of African consciousness, for example, the real ones, not just this cliche everybody. I'm not talking perfect, I'm talking honest one. Like, because no matter how bad Nigeria is and you jackpot, you are still a black man elsewhere. Like, and I've always wanted to have those conversations because, yes, MLX no get two heads. Dr. King no get two head. It's before them we've known Fela. So what are we doing? I wanted those kind of movements and power plays, not because of lyrical prowess, but because of things that we can do. So, and I knew M was always a voice that you could do it with. So it eased up our conversation. However, I couldn't say so much for other rappers though, because for me, I place value on people over wealth, over acclaim or accolades or awards. It's value. So for him, he had value to bring to the table in moving the narrative forward.
Okay. So have you guys had a conversation, just you two, away from the studio, not on any song, just yo?
Oh yeah.
You messed up. etc. Like, was it face to face? Was it on the phone?
There are a lot of things you didn't see on that clip. I'm a very direct. If I feel face, I take a back. I tell her my mind. Everybody will collect though. But if I can clear my mother, I can clear any man. So I definitely make sure I said it to everybody. Hennessy, sir, before we have this conversation, let's make this clear. I'm not going to sit down for any fugazi, flimsy thing. You're not going to come and now act like, we are talking, then later say, come and DM, I'll catch you, I'll beat you. I'll fight you if I don't beat you. Yes, now, like...
Try Jesus, don't try me because I throw hands.
Yes, now, and I grew up in the barracks. I had to, in the barracks, for you to be respected, amidst your peers, you must eventually at some point fight. So I know that, and I'm not throwing that away because I learned that for a reason. But I made sure that it was clear and honest. When we sat down, I was like, yeah, honestly, this is how I felt about how you dealt with this situation. And boom, boom, boom. And we chopped it off and it was over. I know repentance is a word for a reason. So we had to let that go and move forward with better things.
Okay, so it's not like you're friends, but you're cordial.
Oh, yeah, we're cool. I wouldn't say friends, but yes, we're cool.
We're cool.
I just respect that. I mean, that's fair enough in rap, You don't need to be, hey, my guy,
Just cannot be your
How many people have been
Bruh, that's the thing, as long as there's some sort of mutual respect, I think that's fair enough.
Yes.
So then you had like the Crown of Clay series going up on your IG, the few people that jumped on it.
Yeah.
You know, the interesting thing for me is I think there were people even out of Nige hopping on that whole thing.
Yes.
So like, what's the end game of that? Because to be honest, I followed it for a while. Then obviously I wasn't following it again. I don't know. I was caught up in so many things.
Yes,
but then, what's all that about? Are you bringing all of that together into something? Are you picking out a few rappers from the challenge as well?
Yeah, it's me personally. I've not necessarily been a fan of people who use every opportunity to push their music. Like I feel like it's sometimes I find it hard to write link in bio. Okay. I feel like the art should not be tied to anything else. However, the little that you heard must have given you insight as to how much awakened the minds are. Because we need to make sure we know that beyond, I'm lyrically gifted, you're lyrically shifted and twisted and all that, there is don't worry yourself. I know where I'm from. I've always seen, like in America when we're hanging out, I'm like, the difference between me and the black American is like, he doesn't know home. There's a calm you have when you know, I don't want trouble, I'm going home. Like every Nigerian in America, they have home to go to if we pass Gary, right? And that's exactly what it is for me. Just make sure everything is on that level. So with Crown of Clay, everybody that came out to rap, I really appreciate everybody that jumped on it just to prove that rap is beyond just lyrical feuds. We can also start to awaken minds that are coming in because nobody's teaching the youngins. Nobody really is. The school is messed up. The general system is messed up. It used to take a village to raise a child. Now I think it takes social media.
You gotta pin that somewhere. Yeah.
I know.
You gotta pin that.
Put on a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, so that's all of us. Like, okay, rappers, come and say your mind and everything. It's not even about what I want to do with it per se. What are you doing with this? Because I started it. And shout outs to Bucky Roy in Liberia. His story was amazing when I met him at first. And until he too started to open his eyes, I'm like, look at Africa properly. Don't see the Africa you've been painted. Look at the Africa you're in, that you are. And yeah, he agreed that it's time for everybody to come back more often and experience like Lafiaji, Lagos Island, not just Lekki, Chevron, go everywhere. There are boys there that are from Yankee now. And you'll be safe too. I mean, if you're with me, you're fine in Lafiaji, I guess. So that's what we're doing with all the music. So the end game is not necessarily for the record. It's just for like the people. Let's all get together and see how that goes.
I respect that. Now, this new song you have, License, dropped about 2 weeks ago. So is that body of work coming actually? Because you have early Momo, you know, that did his bit. That was this year, I think.
February 14th.
You know, they have Crown of Clay. So it's like, are you putting something together now to be just being the body of work, or this is like the first official single of something coming, or what's?
No, it's Teslim. So I've been working on Teslim for a minute, and I personally just want to give the best that I can. If it takes me 4 years, so be it. But I will put the best work together and give it to you. There's no hurry.
Okay.
We're not competing who release pass. If Nadal and Two-Face don't win since. But yeah, so there's a body of work coming, and I've been putting that together for a while. So Early Momo was one.
How long is it gonna be?
It's dropping this year.
No. When I say how long, like how many tracks?
Let's just say it'll be under an hour of play.
Okay.
That's good.
That works.
Because me,
we're just talking about this the other day. Like, look, anything that's too long, look, the attention span is short these days. So, really.
But so how do we? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is that something that we need to work on, because it is what is also informing how music is being made now?
I also think it's just gonna get worse even as we go, because I think there's always gonna be more things introduced to our lives, and that is taking your time. That is taking your time. That's taking time. For example, you're streaming something on Netflix. You want to sit down and watch this TV show. You get a notification from your Instagram. All of a sudden, you're in Instagram. Next thing, you're someone's profile page. They are another person's profile page. Now you've left that Netflix thing, and then that guy has dropped that new song. Go check him out. You're playing that then. You're just all over the place all of a sudden, and then you're not completing any task really.
It's why I'm here. Like when we're pushing, I said to the team, I actually want to go to radio. See, the radio audience is definitely more than the social media audience. There are more people using radio than people using social media.
Absolutely.
And with the social media too, I'm still going to sue them, because which I'm saying, you make me build millions of followers, you can't restrict me based on algorithm. What's happened to the algorithm then? I get what I mean. But we're losing track of certain other important things. I'm not going to say what's important, but there are other important things. And yes, you may have your arguments about payola or whatever it is, but there's payola everywhere. Absolutely. Right? So you might as well just try your best and make sure you preserve what is yours. Because the biggest problem with the numbers era is the power of the numbers to be manipulated is in the hands of the moderator.
Thank you. We just talked about this the other day, but you know what? Anybody, it's a human being at the end of the day.
If I'm the one holding the calculator and I'm supposed to show you number, if I show you 1 million, you don't know if I press 1 + 1 + 1 a million times or 900,000 plus 100,000. You are just seeing a million.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm not acting like I'm any saint. I fell prey to that at a point. It's like, okay, but wait, guy, these people that we are hearing on Apple and everything, do we have concrete data? Can you reach them? But if you come to radio, that's it. If they call in, they'll tell you where they're calling in from, right there. It doesn't mean this is all there is now, but we must find a balance. So that's why I'm doing this, and I'm not really,
All right. License, brand new song dropped. This is body of work for Teslim. I hope it's not like a Dr. Dre detox type project at this point, because you see, when artists keep pushing projects,
it can't be Dr. Dre detox.
I'm just like, now wow.
Every day I wake up,
it's on your arm.
It's the reminder is there.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. So I was gonna ask you, your thoughts on where the music industry is now. It's such a cliche question to ask at the same time. I'm asking that because rap itself, and I'm not talking indigenous rap, rap, what we call English rap or whatever. It's in a very, very different space right now.
Of course.
Personally, I think you can have a different opinion. So, what's your thoughts on that? Is that a good thing, or do you have reservations about it?
I think rap's in a good place. Anybody can sit down and say, for example, Gbemi is a presenter, but there was now mention Abike Dabiri or something. You get what I mean? So I understand that there will be evolution, right? But this one feels right now because a lot of people. Oh, shout out to Magazine on Aso Ade for Lekki Ekpe, right? So instead of where it's becoming more indigenous, but not necessarily Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa.
Okay.
So the message is becoming more realistic to our present realities over just that guy they rap. So I think Nigerian hip hop is just about. You see how like UK grime just came and did a heavy blow to American hip hop. Nigerian hip hop is about to come and be that same thing in its core original self. Because take for example, if to say 50 Cent did Nigeria for no survive the gunshot based on police report. So bruh, who's harder? I mean, Tupac was great, but it's Fela, my guy.
I mean, Tupac.
Tupac's
my God.
Don't worry,
right there.
This thing I'm saying to you. You see this thing I'm saying to you. Me, Shane, and Black Thoughts are coming up with a project, right? And when I was doing my verse, it had to be like, what is the next level of brag? If you're not going to say, I have money, I have women, I have cars, right? And there's a part where it goes, I take flights right where Moses was at. Doesn't that matter?
It does.
I fly where the Moses you worship and pray about in the Bible, I fly where he's at. So hip hop is just about to get to the point
it's
where
getting celestial now.
Bruh, he's getting original. And yes, you are going to have to learn. All the guys that are doing score music or listen to rap or what do they call those things again, reaction videos. Yes, when it gets to my verse, they have to ask Nigerians. Yes, you must ask Nigerians what I'm saying.
How many times did they hit pause? Have you ever watched one of those things? I cringe a lot when they hit pause. Like, yo, man. Man.
Did you hear what he said?
Yo,
yes.
I got any Nigerians in the comment section, man. Y'all let me know what you're talking about, man. This is fine. I'm like, oh God, play this thing. I'm trying to hear this,
But I like that. It's getting to the point where even the person that is supposedly the guru has to now learn. You can't know me. Like, you're American, I'm African. There has to be a difference.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a worry if you're American, I'm African, and you know everything about me from listening to my music. So I'm with that team, and I feel like hip hop in Nigeria is getting there. It's getting there. That Green is holding. He's been passed for a while, and he's still holding it down. So there's the image of what it means for a rapper to grow. He's passed on, but his legacy lives. There's that. But then you can't throw away Olamide's work or Reminisce's work or CDQ that is working or all these other cats. As much it's all happening at the same time, but I think it's going to ball up into one big benefit for everybody very soon. It's molding.
Hopefully so. So should we play the music? We're about to have the world news in 4 minutes. Let's just anything else you want to tell the fans before we let you go? You came late.
Sorry, the ladies love it that way.
Well done. Clap for yourself. Just clap for yourself.
This is the problem with rappers. Man.
Exactly.
You can't just help
but
yourself.
But you're also a rapper must have stolen your girl because I don't understand.
Wait.
No.
His sarcasm is rap level.
Don't mind him.
But yeah, so we have 4 minutes and license is 3 something. So shout out to you guys for tuning in. This is License, the new single.
Yes.
Thank you, Gumi. Thank you, Shaggy, for having me. Thank you, BDFM. Blessings, guys. Love.
Yeah, but all the best,
forward
man.
to Teslim. Looking forward to that.
And Conscious Cruise, man. Keep an eye on that if you can. It's the conversations are quite interesting, and I think we need to have them more, given the state of things in Nigeria. Brand new music from Vector, License, play next to the beat, 99.9.